Come along with me to Chuckadelphia. You know, in the process of losing 250 pounds, I realized like some of the biggest challenges were simply by hanging out with people that you love, you know? Many times they offer food and it's really hard to say no. And you don't want to like kind of like make them feel uncomfortable by making them feel like they have to change everything around just for your diet, you know? So it's quite the conundrum, you know? For the most part, everybody that I know has been very supportive of me. But I know that there are people out there that have had some struggles, you know? There's such a thing as food pressure, you know, where if you try to say no to someone's offer of food, they get offended by that. And I don't understand why, you know? I mean, I do understand why. Part of it is that, like, I know that people, like, serving food is an expression of love, you know? The amount of love and care and attention that goes into the food that they create for people, it's amazing. It's an amazing expression of love. And you, by accepting their food, you're putting a great deal of faith into what they're making for you. It's like you're saying, I trust you enough to put something into my body to say, like, this is going to be healthy for me. I'm going to survive. Whatever you give me, whatever I put into this organism here, I'm still going to be alive. You know what I mean? So, like, you know, it's one thing when they make things for you, but it's another thing when they ask you out and they want you to go to dinner with them. They want you to have a treat. They say, hey, let's go to a buffet, or let's go get a sandwich or a hot dog. And many times they forget that you are on the journey. You know, they don't understand how important it is to stay strong. And they might say something like, hey, you can treat yourself. Well, it's not really okay, you know? I do a lot of intermittent fasting, which means I said goodbye to breakfast a long time ago. And honestly, you have no idea how hard it is to say no to breakfast. I mean, there's so many great breakfast foods that I grew up with, and to skip breakfast on a routine basis like I do and not eat until about 1 o'clock, or maybe like sometimes I go all the way until like 4 or 5 o'clock before I eat. And no matter how dedicated I can be to that, if I eat just a little bit of bread or a piece of a pizza crust, it can have devastating effects on that. It messes up with your insulin spikes, and it just throws you off your fasting game. And like, I know, like, there have been times, I think, on my path where I thought I had a great week. But then, like, I ended up realizing that I put on some weight. And then, like, looking back, and as I learned about intermittent fasting, I realized maybe I had a sandwich, maybe I had a little bit of bread, maybe some crackers, and that really affected my insulin spike, you know? So the point is, it's like, it's really hard to say no to people when they offer you food, you know? And then it makes it harder if they get offended by that. You know, you're not trying to offend them, you know, and part of it is like you don't want them to change everything for you. You know, I feel awkward. I don't want to ever force anybody into that situation. But I understand, like, you know, maybe sometimes I might have said no to invitations because I didn't want to be put into that awkward situation where they'd offer me something that they spent a good deal of time in making, or even they spend a good deal of money investing in, only to have me say, no, I'm sorry, I can't do it, you know? you certainly don't want to lose family or friends over this, but sometimes you don't have that choice, you know? Take the Dear Abby letter. There's a person that's struggling with liver problems, and the doctor told this person that they have to eat a low-carb type of diet in order to lose weight. This is their life that's on the line here. And for the most part, this person says that their family has been supportive, but every now and then, when they say no to like a buffet invitation or an invitation for a sandwich or something like that, the family gets a little offended by that. And this person said that one time a family member stormed off, you know? I couldn't even fathom that, you know? For the most part, my family has been really cool. I mean, they're amazingly supportive, you know? Every now and then they might forget what I'm doing, but that was like more at the beginning. Like when I'd say, you want to come over for some pancakes or something, and I'd have to remind them, you know? And actually there are some things that I've learned that have really been helpful. And maybe these tips will be helpful for you as well. If you're on the weight loss journey, if you're focused on getting healthy, and you have family members that pressure you a little bit, okay? So one thing is like, if you get invited to some kind of a family gathering or a holiday dinner or birthday party, or there might be an open table of food, that could be your number one enemy, I know. So what do? Maybe eat a little bit of protein, maybe eat some veggies before you head out, maybe eat some like, you know, lean chicken, low-fat chicken, grilled chicken or something like that. Eat some, you know what I eat a lot, what I've been eating on a lot lately is green peppers, carrots, and celery sticks dipped into yogurt, squeezed lemon, and some hot sauce. Oh my goodness, that crunch factor, it really takes over for, you know, my desire to have chips and Doritos and stuff like that. It's amazing. That's a psychological thing. But also, like, you can eat a lot of it and not feel guilty, you know? So, you know, munch on some things like that before you go and hang out with your family. That way you're not tempted to eat because you'll be full, you know what I mean? And the more protein you eat, the less likely you will be to have desire to eat something, you know? Also, like, when they offer you something, just let them down gently, you know? Say, no, thank you. I'm still fasting. I really have to do this. I'm committed to this. I'm fasting. Don't take this personally. I just can't do this. Please accept my apologies. And hopefully they will. Hopefully they will accept your apologies. Well, you know, just do it gently, you know? Sometimes if they pressure you a little too much, you might have to say, hey, no, I'm just going to stay home. I'm going to hang out with my bulldog and my cocker spaniel, and we're just going to chill. You know what I mean? So, yeah, remember, you got to look out for yourself, okay? Stay true to yourself. I suppose if you do slip up here and there, just, you know, maybe a little bit, you know? But just don't fall off the tracks that much, especially due to pressure, because if you cave once and you eat a lot, there's a chance it's going to happen again. And you don't want to fall into that trap. And if worse comes to worse, you know, you might have to find some new friends, some new people to work out with, some new people to hang out with, people that have shared goals of yours. You know, that way it's a little more supportive. You know, I know it's not ideal to not see your family or friends that have been with you for so long. Just like, you know, just let them know, hey, you know, this isn't personal, but until I get this thing under control, you got to hang out with you. You got to understand this for a little bit, okay? And for those of you that are family or friends that are with people that are focused on getting healthy, you know what? They need your hype. They need your support more than anything else. I'm sure you're a good cook, huh? And don't take it personally. If they say no, it's because it's their health. They're trying to live right. They're trying to extend their lives. And at the end of the day, what's more important? That sandwich you want them to eat, or them living a healthy, long life? You know what I mean? So just keep that in mind. Contribute to their support system, you know, and if you really want to help, maybe find some healthy recipes. Understand what they're eating, what is beneficial to their diet, and support them that way. You know, if they're eating high levels of proteins, get some good proteins into their system, you know, healthy proteins, you know. And maybe if you're like, oh, that's too much, oh, that's fine, okay? But don't feel bad if they bring something else to your events, or if they turn you down, okay? At the end of the day, it's not you. It's not you. It's not about you, okay? There will be times where you guys will be able to eat again in the future, but for now, their health is what is important, okay? At the end of the day, a lot of this is not temporary. These are permanent changes that people make, and it means a lot to them, okay? Because as we've said before, there are people that go on and off diets. I was one of them. They have that thing, it's called a yo-yo diet, where up and down, up and down, up and down. Once you straighten out that ship and you're sailing smoothly straight ahead, you need all the focus you can get, all the support that you can get. You know, you can't let anybody else pressure you into going into another direction. You know what I mean? Because that other direction could lead to disaster. So, yeah. But then again, I'm an optimist. Okay? So, thank you very much for watching Chuckadelphia. This weekend we got the Father's Day special. Tune into the channel for that Father's Day special. Right now we're at 394 subscribers. I really want to get up to 400. I would love to get to 500, but, you know, beggars can't be choosers, right? So smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, share this video with friends and family, especially if you know someone that's struggling with the weight loss journey. You let them know they got to go to Chuckadelphia, okay? Thank you very much for your time. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. Keep coming back for more content. And yeah, Frankie, you want to say hi? Frankie says hi. Charlie, what about you? Charlie says hi too, okay? So that's just about all for now. Peace, Philly. Carpe diem, my friends. Full steam ahead. And as always, ciao, ciao. See you on the flip side.